Welcome. First live trading day of the year of 2022. And we traded NFP today. Gonna go over the trade setup that I took today. We'll start off on the 4-hour chart because I want to kind of go over what the setup was and what it was based off of. Prior to us actually talking about the chart, let's talk about the actual catalyst for it. So if we look at the news, we saw headlines of the markets. We had tech sell off, and we also had bad news on futures at the time. These were negative, much negative than this at the moment. And we also had, let's go back to the 6. Oops. Let's go back to the 6. I'm going to try to give you an overview of two things in particular. Okay. On the 6, we had, oops, 2022. On the 6, we had, let's just do it like this. On the 6th, we had two high impact news releases. We had unemployment, which is above what the previous was 200, forecast 199, and the actual was 207. So we were up on unemployment claims, and then we had PMI. It was previous 69.1, forecast 67, and the PMI was actually 62. So we had down news on that day. And then today we had NFP non-farm payroll. We had previous of 249, forecast 426, and the actual change was 199. So unemployment rate was down as compared to previous and forecasted, and the hourly rate was up as compared to previous and forecasted. So we actually have bad news today, a lot of bad news today. So going into the trading, that January 6th information gave us this range, which was basically held in this single 4-hour candle. And you can see it on the daily as this single doji indecision candle. And also want to bring to your attention two particular areas we have that I didn't realize until after the fact, but we have this daily imbalance in the form of fair value gap at 46.97.6 and 46.56.4. That'll come into play later on after I just explain what happened with this trade. So we have the range set up from January 6th unemployment news and PMI news between 47.27 and 46.73.6, with liquidity, seller side liquidity resting below, buyer side resting above, and we have a fair value gap from 47.76.8 to 47.27. So the setup was based off of the 15-minute. The NFP news was released on this 830 candle right here. Left a fair value gap here. Left a small fair value gap on the 15-minute here and here. And I was looking for a price to hold around 90, around inside of this area. The 50% mark was about 96, which is where I took the trade to. My stop loss, I gave it some room around 47.15. I gave it some room because I only traded with a small position, and I knew that we were only gonna be. I really was like lenient with it because of the fact that it was Friday and then it was NFP, and I didn't trade with a large size. So I actually tried to enter the trade around 47 flat. It went as high as 47.10. We can see roughly around 47.09 actually. So it went into some decent drawdown. I went over 100 pips in the drawdown and on this trade, but that's okay. Like I said, I didn't use a large size, so I was okay with holding it as long as it didn't break and close above the daily or above this wick at 47.11.5. Um, I did not, however, consider after it broke this level at 46.73.6, took out the seller side liquidity, that we were trading down into that fair value gap, which is why I mentioned that it would come back in the conversation later. Daily fair value gap 46.56 4, 46.97.6. Consequent encroachment at the 50% mark of 46.77 was the low yesterday, and then the low today slightly slipped below that at around 46.64.2, and then we rejected back up. Sentiment for today was mostly bearish, but after looking at the depth of market on the C Trader, there were a lot more buyers in the market than expected that actually kept this from dropping down lower. So definitely will need to, as I'm trading, I plan out the entry a lot better than I planned out the exit. I should have took partials at least or took profit down here. Eventually, price came back. I used a 5 minute to enter, and price eventually came back and stopped me out around the fair value gap on the 15 minute, which was the high here, low here at around 46.90 area. So I only took about 30 pips of profit when I could have had 300 pips. So I lost 10 times more than I should have on this trade. And I kind of just walked away from it as well. So that was my fault. I should have handled the trade a lot better. It was still a good trade, but I should have made a lot more money. So going into next week, as it stands right now at 1:44 p.m., we are actually still stuck in this range, still sitting right below and holding. I want to see us trade into this fair value gap here to the downside, this bearish fair value gap, and even coming trading into this daily order block. And then we also have sell pressure. So I'll be honestly looking for some sales next week going into the Sunday open. We got the weekly, monthly, yearly order block, daily order block, and fair value gap stacked up against us. And we have hiking interest rate hikes looming. We still kind of sitting in this range. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the close, but if it holds like this, the way it is, I do expect for it to push back into this fair value gap, and I'll really start to look to sell from 47.59.8 and consider buying up into it, but not only smaller positions. The fair value gap to the upside, the bullish fair value gap, already took out 50% of it. May want to come down. I want to see us come down to completely fill this in and even dabble into this daily order block here or here. And then below that, we have a fair value gap that we use to push us up from this range, from this low right here at 44.92 that we could see ourselves push down to. So that's where I see us in overall. If we even got some lower, we got a lower fair value gap around 44 to 43.72, And then we got 2 daily order blocks stacked around here, which I don't mind us coming down to. I can see us ranging, creating a big range moving forward. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'll give an update on Sunday and see where we go from there. Okay. Have a great day.